Welcome into College Football Now by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, trying to get my voice back from NFL Sunday. But on today's show, I've got some Scott Satterfield replacements as the Louisville head coach has left his post for the Cincinnati job, which is going to make a very awkward Fenway Bowl, and these two teams play each other. So we've got that coming up. 10 names to keep an eye on to be the next U of L head coach. But first, if you are looking for the best college football YouTube channel, well, you are in the right spot here at Chat Sports. We're going to keep you guys up to date on all the latest transfer portal news and rumors, head coaching buzz, all that good stuff. So subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So the first Satterfield replacement for U of L is Jeff Brohm. The Louisville native went to Trinity High School, was of course, a player for U of L, played quarterback there from 1989 to 1993. He has been with Purdue since 2017. In fact, he had an opportunity to go back to his alma mater in 2018 after Petrino. He opted to stay in Purdue in West Lafayette, but now he's got another opportunity to go back to his hometown state. Jeff Brohm at Purdue has done a lot of great things. I mean, this year, for example, he took the Boilermakers to the Big Ten Championship for the first time. Last year, he won the Music City Bowl over Tennessee. There were some bad moments, too. 2020 only played 6 games, but 2019 a 4-8 season. But all in all, when you take Purdue to back-to-back bowl games, including a Big Ten championship appearance, you're doing a lot of good things for a team that hasn't had a historically long run of success in the Big Ten. So, with that being said, if you want Jeff Brohm to come back home, right, come back to his home city, play or coach for the school that he played at, let's get his jersey number in the chat right now. Spam 12, that's what he wore at Louisville, in the comment section below if you would like to see him come back home and play for the coach for the Cardinals. Next replacement option. We're going to go in-state here. That is Brad White, the defensive coordinator for the rival Kentucky Wildcats. So Brad White is currently in his 4th season as the Kentucky defensive coordinator. And some of the big pros about hiring White is he knows the recruiting trail well. And for college football these days, it's not even all about where you can do X's and O's. It's about getting the right guys on your roster. And for Brad White, he knows where the talent is from Louisville to Lexington to Frankfort, all across the Bluegrass State and the surrounding southeastern area. Now, Louisville, if you can't beat them, why don't you kind of become them? Because the Cardinals have not had a ton of success against Kentucky. In fact, in the last 4 Governor's Cup, Louisville's offense has only averaged about 2 touchdowns against Brad White's defense. We've got more replacement options to get to in just a moment, but this edition of College Football Now by Chat Sports, well, it is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt and you will earn points for your purchases. And the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt, then hit submit, and you'll see that confetti pop showing you that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of the other 100 retailers and restaurants they have available for you. Fetch is available on iPhone and Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch. Enter promo code CHAT, and at sign up, you're going to get 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card to get started. It's a free app, and those 5,000 points, well, those bonus points are only available for a limited time. So get started now. Chatsports.com/fetch. Use promo code CHAT. I've got all that information for you in the comments and the description of today's video. My third Satterfield replacement is an in-house option, is Bryan Brown, the current DC for the Cardinals. So he has been at that job since 2019, and he has been the assistant head coach the last 2 seasons along with it. This would be the most likely in-house option in my eyes. If Louisville decided, you know what, we don't need to go external, we want to keep it in-house, we think we have something special with Coach Brown, I could see this being in play here. Now, Louisville's defense has actually been sneaky good this season, I would say. They only gave up 20 points per game, which was top 20 in FBS. I probably bet they want to go out external, but if they decide to keep it in-house, Bryan Brown is the name to watch for. Next replacement option, Bill OBrien. Now we're playing with gas here, right? Now we've got a bit of a bigger name on the list here. Bill OBrien, of course, had a long time with the Houston Texans, being their head coach, czar, and dictator from 2014 to 2020. Before that, huge success at Penn State. And remember, that was a Penn State program he took over that was down in the dumps after Joel Petonio. So, for Alabama, he has been the offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons. And for Alabama, their expectations are, well, it's above the camera limit. And right now, when you miss the playoffs, fingers are going to start getting pointed. And I could see Bill OBrien maybe getting edged out of his rehab job, which is what Nick Saban does for everyone that doesn't do well, brings him to T-Town, kind of turns around their career, and sets them up for another head coaching gig. Wouldn't be surprised if OBrien decides, I've had enough at Alabama, time to go back to the head coaching world. Let's move on to some defensive minds again. What about Jesse Minter? He's the current defensive coordinator for Michigan in his first year as doing so, and he's done a pretty good job so far. I mean, not only are the Wolverines going to the college football playoff, but they are doing so with an awesome defense that we probably remember more of last year with David Ojabo and Aiden Hutchinson. Without those guys, he still got them kicking ass and taking names. Points allowed, 13.5 for the Big Blue team. That's 5th best in FBS. Sacks, 36 on the year, 26 overall, and total yards per game, top 3 at 277.1. Another defensive coordinator to watch for is Matt House, the defensive coordinator from LSU. There have been a lot of rumblings about Matt House being linked to this job, so definitely keep an eye on it. Chris Vanini from The Athletic. The Louisville job profile, it's been a very inconsistent program, but the highs are high and the investment in NIL is there. Names to watch, Jeff Brohm, who we touched on, Liam Coen, who we'll get to in a minute, and Matt House. So definitely keep an eye on this name. Connor O'Gara, who covers college football for Saturday Down South. If Louisville whiffs on Jeff Brohm, an interesting name to keep in mind, LSU DC Matt House. So definitely some rumors and some connections going on from Baton Rouge to Louisville. What about outside of FBS? Bear with me here. Matt Entz. This is the North Dakota State head coach. And we really only watch North Dakota State play football once a year, and that is when they are in the FCS Championship, kicking JMU's ass or whoever they got that year. And he's done a lot of great things there. From 2019 to present day, he's a 2-time NCAA FCS champion, a career record of 47-6. So maybe he views this as an opportunity to step up into the FBS world, and for Louisville to take someone who they might think is a bit of a hidden gem. Yeah, it's North Dakota State. They're not playing really tough ACC competition, but they might have a hidden, diamond in the rough, if you will. All right, this next game is going to get some fire. This next coach, is going to get some fireworks going. That is Scott Frost, best known, of course, as the now former Nebraska head coach. Now, when he was at Nebraska, it was not good. His overall career record is 35-38, and that's largely being carried by their national championship season in 2017 with UCF. I don't have a good argument to make for Scott Frost ever being a head coach again, just based off the record. What I could say, though, is We all know Scott Frost, his homecoming to Lincoln did not go as planned. Maybe he just needs to go somewhere where the expectation and the pressure isn't nearly as big as it was for him in the Cornhuskers, and he can sort of ease into a job where maybe the pressure isn't so big and all the spotlights are on him and his homecoming, and that's a situation where he could thrive. We're going to rattle through these last two really quickly. I'm going to hope I can get my voice back soon. This is Dave Ragone. He is the Falcons offensive coordinator. He also played at U of L in the early 2000s. So this would be another sort of in-house-ish homecoming route that Louisville could go. Another one is Liam Coen, like we talked about earlier. He is now the Rams offensive coordinator. Might be a familiar name. He was the OC for Kentucky before this season, so he's got some connections to the state. And if he decides, you know what, this NFL gig isn't for me, I'd rather be my own boss, well, I could easily see him taking the Louisville job. All right, with that being said, I gave you guys 10 options. I'll let you be the athletic director, though. Who do you want U of L to hire? Let me know in the comments section below who you think would be the number one candidate for this head coaching job. I appreciate everyone for clicking on to today's show. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so because we're going to keep you guys up to date several times throughout the day on the latest college football buzz.